What's up, everyone? We're coming right in live. This is craziness, chaos everywhere. Dustin Boydell, you gave me the call. I want you to break the news to everyone out there that is currently tuned in.
I mean, yeah, crazy Friday night here, just relaxing. Quinn Hughes has been traded to the Minnesota Wild. Um, Alvin and Rutherford setting the NHL news on fire. Um, yeah, I mean, you could tell he seemed like he had one foot out the door, and Rutherford doesn't mess around. They got an absolute haul back, but yeah, he will be missed for sure. Crazy times. Two captains traded by this regime so far.
And can you go through what are we talking about package wise coming back?
So coming back to the Vancouver Canucks, we got Marco Rossi, their second line center that they've been looking for, undersized center with elite physical skill. He's really dangerous around the net, which is good. Gritty guy. They were after him in the summer before the draft. We had recently heard about a package that the Minnesota Wild had requested. I believe it was Atu Ratu, the 15th overall pick, and Artur Shilovs, which would have brought Marco Rossi back. They also get Zeev Buyum, who is a really underrated defenseman, in my opinion. Is playing down a bit in the depth chart for Minnesota's D, but is 6 feet, big guy. Can probably play a similar style to Quinn Hughes, but obviously I foresee in the near future now Hronik kind of taking that spot on the top power play unit for now. But we'll have to have a look more at Buyum. I know he did drop a bit in his draft year, which was a little bit weird. No one really knew why, but I'm curious to see him play. I was interested in him as a junior. And then Liam Ogren, who I don't know much about. He did play with Jonathan Lekkerimäki in Sweden, though. However, he's more of a gritty third line winger that's going to bang and crash and dig in the corners. Similar to maybe like a Garland or a Sherwood. So maybe we see more moves happening with, I mean, this is likely the first domino to fall in the rebuild. It sure appears now that the rebuild is going to happen and they're going to move whoever they can that doesn't have a no movement clause. And the final piece coming back was also a 2026 first round pick. So the Canucks now have 2 first round picks next year in the entry draft, and the willingness to move Quinn Hughes when looking at the draft and the prospects and the current draft rankings. There's one defenseman in Verhoff who is climbing the rankings rapidly this season and could likely be who the Canucks are targeting over, say, maybe a Gavin McKenna. Especially with this move now. Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. I'm shocked at the destination. Let's say that. But obviously, there's no guarantee that he re-signs long term in Minnesota. They have him for this season, and can't even negotiate contract or re-sign him until July 1st, anyways. So we'll have to see where it goes. Maybe they flip him to somewhere else and try and recoup their first round pick. Who knows? But as of right now, I'm in a bit of shock. Yeah, I mean, this tells me that Rutherford and Alvin do have the full confidence of ownership to start a rebuild, which is what we have been hearing rumblings of. We talked about it yesterday with Gary Mason's article. Paul Bissonnette did mention it as well, that Rutherford and Alvin have the go-ahead to do it, and this seems to me to be the first shoe to drop. Does that feel like it, I guess, to you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those things where when you looked at the narrative in the last few days, where I think it was Thomas Trance's article where essentially he's saying, this is either the end of an era or the beginning of a new one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to see what they're getting back and see if that's going to be enough to start the next era. And the first round pick obviously is a huge part of that. And then Marco
Mhm.
Rossi is someone who's been connected to this team for a long time too, right? So it's someone that they've obviously coveted at some points, but obviously the price wasn't right before. So yeah, this is the beginning of something. But having said that too, this management team has sold us and owners at points on a retool.
Mhm.
So I think that's one thing that a lot of people were worried about is that do they use Quinn Hughes to try to save this season? Or is this a move that is them looking towards the future beyond this season? Right. So those are a couple of
This
questions.
this kind of checks both boxes, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a really smart trade in the terms of business. As a Canucks fan, we're all going to be heartbroken. Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman, franchise player we've ever seen, right? But captains don't quit on their teams. He's been the captain since Horvat was traded, and it's been a downhill slide since then. That falls on Hughes a bit as a leader. So for me, I'm trying to be indifferent about it, trying to remove my feelings as a fan and just look at the fact that, okay, we got a 24-year-old center back, we got a 21-year-old winger, and a 20-year-old defenseman. I mean, the 20-year-old defenseman has 31 games played, 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points, and doesn't play a lot of power play time. Um, for me, it we got NHL ready players that are younger. They're not, 27, 28-year-old fringe players. They all have the ability to increase their ceiling depending on how they're utilized. And I mean, is the next shoe to drop Foot being removed now that Quinn Hughes is gone? Is Foot the next to go? Or does he continue to lead the tank ship? And then, Manny comes back. They come back next season with Manny Malhotra and starting the new regime. The one guarantee for me that this tells me is that Rutherford and Alvin aren't going anywhere. Um, there's no way Aquilini lets these two make this decision unless they are sticking around to see this through. And, there was speculation that Rutherford might call it a career if the season doesn't go his way, but he's not a quitter. He doesn't give up on the challenge. He finds a way, and he's always been that way. He's a bit stubborn. And so we'll have to see where they go from here. He is officially the first president, and Alvin is the first GM to actually get our ownership to buy into rebuilding. I mean, these are young prospects back, a first round pick. It takes the pressure off of trying to recoup a first round pick for Kiefer Sherwood. You can maybe drop the price a little bit to more realistic standpoint. When you look at where he would slot in on the teams that would be trying to trade for him, you need to be a little more realistic in the price tag for a Kiefer Sherwood versus a Quinn Hughes. Um, so it does pave the way for them to make more trades. For me, yeah, this is not a retool. This is a rebuild. This is the start of the rebuild, and I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it. From the body language we've seen from Quinn Hughes from the start, it looked a lot like Miller, checked out. Um, and maybe he goes off and has a great career in Minnesota, or whatever happens will happen. But for me, that was a player that wanted out. Um, we kind of knew that. I think the relationship got a bit fractured when Rutherford said what he said last year, and for them to say that it wasn't in the locker room until like recently. I think it entered the locker room in the summer the second it was said, like, hey, Quinn, how committed are you? Also, like, oh, we're going to hire the coach you want to try and keep you here. So much was done to appease Quinn and do everything for Quinn, and he was still out there on the ice looking miserable and wanting to leave. So I think this is the best move with where we're at as an organization moving forward, and we can remove the distraction and see where we go from here. It's time to start rebuilding the culture. They have that opportunity now to finish out this year. Um, See where we go in the off season with the draft. Take their time selecting a new captain going forward. And yeah, it's just when I thought the big news was going to be the Oilers trading Stuart Skinner for Tristan Jarry, there goes Alvin and says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Can't let the Oilers have anything fun.
Well, I mean, they picked up another goalie, so
Yeah.
good for
I
them.
mean, Tristan Jarry any better? I mean, we're getting off track because who gives a crap
Yeah,
about
but
them picking up? But is Tristan Jarry really a better goalie than Stuart Skinner, or are they the same
they're
exact
basically
goalie?
the exact same goalie. When
Right?
you
Like,
have
you
the
gotta be
defense
kidding
that they
me.
have playing in front of them, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make myself feel better.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta get some copium in sometimes, right?
Yep.
Let's have a quick look. So I've got all the guys pulled up here that they got in the trade. So let's pull them up one at a time. We got Marco Rossi, like we talked
Yep.
about. The Vancouver Canucks have coveted him. He's a bit on the smaller side, 5'9", 182 pounds. He's 24 years old, like you said. He's Austrian. I wonder, he'll probably play at the Olympics then, right? So we just picked up another Olympian. He's a first round pick by Minnesota back in 2020. So, not that far off, 5 years ago. Ninth overall. He's got 114 points in 202 games. And then this year, I think he was injured for a while, like you said, so he's just coming in off the IR. Then overall career stats. Let's see at the progression. So first year, 2 games, 0 points. Second year, just 19 games, 1 point. 82 games, 40 points. 82 games, 60 points. And he's got 13 and 17. So he's looking like he's kind of getting to a point where, maybe just less than a point a game. Like 60 points is where he was at. He's been injured a little bit, so that might take him a bit. So, but on the smaller side too, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only other thing. But I mean, he's a
Undersized,
centerman.
plays big.
He's a
Yep.
centerman. Do they have? Yeah,
He
they have
is a
his face up.
centerman through and through and is comfortable playing the position. I think after seeing Drew O'Connor play center last night,
Yeah,
Rutherford and Alvin had some alarm bells going off. They needed to find something. When
Canuck
oh,
playing with a
just a little something
699.
something Clay, well, I saw that you were live as well, so just big news, just a little bit of news in Canuck land.
Yeah, we're just talking about the
Thank
Stuart
you for the
Skinner trade.
dono. Yeah, we're just talking about Stuart Skinner trade.
Yeah, can you believe that? Blockbuster, Jari, and Skinner trade. Look at that. Thank you, Clay, for the 699. We appreciate you, brother. Are you like are you just popping into other people's streams right now from your stream? That's funny. Now I just want to pull up his channel. Is he actually live right now?
He was. I'm not sure if he still is.
Okay. All right. Marco Rossi, 48.6% of the faceoff. So he has been, career, he's about 46%. But he is on his best season so far at 48.6. Still a young guy, right? 24, still probably getting to learn his game. Players like this,
Yep.
Obviously, we're looking at primes for players are like more like 28, like Quinn Hughes' age. But Marco Rossi, yeah, got some offensive upside, and that's kind of where the Canucks have been hurting lately too. Someone who can put the puck in the net. So a piece, right, that everyone's been coveting lately. So, got to be happy that we got another center. And like you said, after Drew O'Connor's performance or lack thereof as a center, it's good to see this one here coming in.
Yeah,
Liam.
no, for sure.
So this is the guy you said he's more of a grinder, right? Left winger.
Yep. Liam Ogren.
Yeah, he is also a first-round pick, 19th overall by Minnesota, 6 feet tall, 187 pounds, 21 years old, from Sweden. They love their Swedish players. Only played 46 games so far. And like we said, he was drafted in 2022, so he's a little bit younger than Marco Rossi.
Canucks actually he was on their prospect list in his draft year, so a player they have some history with. Of course, shocking, a Swede, right? So
Yeah. He's taken a couple faceoffs this year. Apparently, he's probably coming in relief. Not too many, but he has played 18 games, so he's yet again another NHL player. I wonder if he's more of a if he's get penalty killing minutes. Is there a way for us to find out if he's got penalty kill minutes? That might be part of that too.
yeah, then we'd have to probably get into the elite prospect breakdown stuff,
Yeah,
but I haven't looked into that as deeply yet.
yeah. Zeev, say this name for me again.
Zeev Booyam.
Booyam. Booyam
Booyam.
Kasha. Do you know what? Oh
Booyam.
my god. Oh my god. Is he Rick Tockett's son?
Right?
Like, is that like right? Like that's a little bit that's freaky. All right, I'm zoomed in way too close here. All right. He is played 31 games, 14 points. Like you said, a bit of an offensive upside, 6 foot, 183 pounds. He's a American. And again, another first round pick, right? So that's 3
Mhm.
players they got back. All of them were first round picks. On top of that, this guy was only drafted in 2024. So this is essentially only his second year in the league. This is the first year he's played any games. He's played all the games for Minnesota. And he's averaging, look at that, he's averaging about 18-28 per game, 31 shots, -9, don't like that, but that's something we can work on if he's bringing this kind of offense to the lineup. And
Mhm.
he is a defenseman, right? So getting that kind of point total from a rookie defenseman, that kind of makes you feel like, oh, maybe this guy is kind of that future Quinn Hughes prospect that they hope to kind of get back, like Quinn Hughes light sort of a thing.
Absolutely. Um, the like is Quinn Hughes a once in a lifetime defenseman? Potentially. But are there ones that can get real close to that caliber of play? For sure. And Booyam's looked good since his draft year. And let's not forget that every single one of these players, our assistant coach Brett McLean is familiar with these guys from his work with the Iowa Wild as their coach. So he has worked with these prospects. So there's an immediate comfort factor for fitting them into the structure. And I'm curious to see, maybe they wanted to get this done so they can get these guys into a practice tomorrow before their game Sunday morning against New Jersey. That may have been the quick trigger to get a move done.
I got Quinn Hughes' card up here now too. I just wanted to compare and contrast. So Quinn Hughes is a guy who is 5'10", 180 pounds. He was obviously a first round pick, 7th overall from Florida. He's 26 now. Born in 1999. I would ID him at the bar for sure. For sure, I would ID him at the bar. So the other aspect too, obviously comparing Booyam to Quinn Hughes, is Booyam does have a little bit of a height advantage. He's got 2 inches on him. He's only 183 pounds now at the age of 20. So you think he'll fill out a little bit. If he's playing around 200 pounds as a defenseman back there, I think that's probably a reasonable amount of weight to gain over the next couple of years for him as he gets comfortable in the league. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously, we can't compare. Oh, I'm just a little worried. Look at that visor, Dustin. It's a little too far up his head, I think. You know, someone's got to let him
That
know that's
means
not the right.
he's a tough guy. He likes to drop them. That's what that tells me.
Yeah. So, like you said, you look at the full package together. Quinn Hughes for a first round pick, Marco Rossi, former first round pick, Zeev Buyam, first round pick, and Liam Ogren, also first round pick. You're looking at essentially 4 first round picks coming back to the Vancouver Canucks from a team that has had some mighty disappointment in the playoffs, to put it mildly, right? 10
Mm-hmm.
years making the playoffs straight and never making it out of the first round. Um, this is, I mean, thinking about it too, you bring into Kaprizov's contract. Does this feel like a rental player for the Minnesota Wild? They have 2 years before he wants $17 million, because there's no way you can have 2 players on your team with $17 million, even when the cap goes up to
Absolutely.
113, right? Like, so this,
Yeah, I
now
mean,
that I'm talking
this
it
is
through, this is a rental, a year and a half
a
rental.
flip move for Minnesota. 100%. They're going to reflip them either this trade deadline or next, and you know, good for them. That's business, right? Like, one of the hard things about this team to start a rebuild is they have no movement and no trade clauses all over the freaking lineup. So Quinn Hughes didn't have one. So to send him and get 4 first rounders, 3 of which are already NHL players, like you know, our number one supporter just dropped a $10 donos to say,
Yeah.
3 of which are playing. A great deal. Especially when you look at our lineup right now, to get players that can play in the NHL that are under the age of 25, I think they did okay in this. And if their target is to go after Verhoff next year in the draft, Canucks fans will forget about Hughes very quickly and the unceremonious way that he played in his last few games as a Canuck. If we can get that young, highly touted prospect now, you know, we're headed the right direction if this is a true rebuild. Um, you know, I don't think Garland's safe now because his no movement clause doesn't kick in until next year. Sherwood's probably gone. I think it just all starts kind of falling now.
But that is a possibility, and I agree with you on that, Dustin. However, like you said, this could also be a we think we can still win this year move. So if
Mm-hmm.
you keep Garland and you keep Sherwood, right? You already just got
Yep.
4 first round picks. You could trade one player. And this is a weird,
Mm-hmm.
metaphor that I thought about last night. Having Quinn Hughes on the Canucks roster right now is like making your toast in the morning, and then you take your butter and you just scrape the butter right across the one corner of your toast, right? You have all of
Yep.
this talent in one spot. But what the Canucks just did is they took that butter and they just spread it out over the rest of the bread. So we don't have the
Exactly.
best player that has ever played for our franchise ever anymore, but we do have 4 first round picks coming back this way, which, like you said, could quickly be a scenario where it's a retool on the fly. And if Demko can stay healthy, suddenly you have another center. You get Bluer back from injury. Boom! Suddenly you actually have a center depth that might not look so bad all of a sudden, and the playoffs might not be that far out of the realm of a possibility.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the other thing we need to remember is that more moves will be needed to be made by the Canucks because these are 3 roster players coming back and only 1 going out. So we will likely finally see the Arshdeep Baines on waivers move because Liam Ogren is a 21-year-old Arshdeep Baines with more offensive upside and more hockey sense. So I think that's definitely one of the first lambs we see go on waivers tomorrow morning. And then probably, if I had to guess, Lucas Reichel. Maybe they go and trade him or put him back on waivers. I don't know, but he's probably the next one to go.
This is I hate when I go on the Canucks website. They still have Niels Almond listed on the Canucks roster, which doesn't make sense because he's playing down in Abbotsford. So the Canucks
Yeah, no,
website does
that's why
not help
the
us.
Puckpedia, they always got it
Yeah,
updated
well, I've got
properly.
Zeev. I picked up his, or I went into his elite prospects. I'll just read it out for everyone, because we're wondering kind of like what his style would be. Scans
Yep.
ahead of each retrieval, plans his escape route in advance of collecting the puck. Make sure to draw at least one forechecker and then beats them with a near comical ease. Oh, I like the sounds of that. Keying a clean breakout and activating into the rush. He is an intelligent, deceptive, skilled, even creative in part of the game where being efficient would suffice. And
Yep.
that is Zeev.
This is the thing is like I'm actually not too upset with who we got back. Being someone who saw this kid when he was younger, knew about him in his draft year because I enjoy studying the prospects that may be coming into the league. Like I think Canucks fans who live in their bubble and don't really look at other players around the league will realize that, yes, losing Quinn Hughes sucks, but there is, some light on the horizon. There is more. There are other players out there that can be just as dynamic as Quinn Hughes. And if this thrusts our power play into not throwing muffins up the middle into traffic, then I'm all for it.
I think we missed a dono here. Hang on a sec.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Daniel Turgeon. Love the guy, Daniel Turgeon. Apparently, he also lives in Surrey. We were chatting on Instagram yesterday.
Oh.
$2 dono coming
go.
in from Daniel. Actually, I can bring it up via. I'm going to block Dustin's face. I'm sorry, Dustin. It has to be done.
Block away. Block away.
It didn't work. I didn't set it up yet. Here we go. Let's fix this. There we go. All right. Yeah, here you guys can see it. Daniel Turgeon, seems like they got very little for Hughes. So Daniel, I don't know if there is a package that we could get back that would ever do Quinn Hughes justice. Because like we talked about, and what I've been sobbing about, is that Quinn Hughes is probably the best player that has ever put on a Vancouver Canucks uniform. But timing wise, it just seems like it didn't work out for the peak of his game and the peak of the Vancouver Canucks core. Looking back at it, I was chatting at work today with someone at the bar, and I was saying Demko had his best run in the bubble, right? That was his, like, if Demko was playing good enough to win the Stanley Cup, right? Like, he almost took the Canucks
in the bubble
past
for sure.
Vegas, right? Like, bubble Demko haunts people's dreams. But he hit his peak right before the Canucks did the thing where they picked up Zadorov and they picked up Lindholm, right? And then Demko got hurt going into that playoff run. And we've talked about this on stream. That run was the Canucks management going all in, right? That was them going all in because they knew that with the team they had, this was a team that could win the Stanley Cup. And I say it now, you got 2011 as the biggest disappointment for the Canucks. 1994 is the next. And then I put now in above the 82 series, I put 23-24 because Demko's healthy. The Canucks probably are in the Stanley Cup finals. And on top of that, it's doubled down. Even if Brock Besser plays game 7, I think the Canucks win that game, right? And that's two ways that the Canucks got screwed in that playoff run. So yes, my longest winded answer ever. They didn't get Quinn Hughes back, and that's going to be the problem. But they did get 4 first-round draft picks essentially. So I think that's probably max. That's the maximum I think you could get for a trade in this situation.
Yeah, and I mean they have now some more depth throughout their lineup, and they've basically accelerated their rebuild a bit with that younger depth. So I mean they checked a few boxes in this, but oof.
Jacob Cozy throwing $13.99 into the chat. Pink sunglasses hasn't changed his name back since YouTube updated. Throwing an apple at Rutherford, absolutely dismantling this team. Throwing an apple.
The old assist
what does he mean,
to
Dustin?
Rutherford. Pardon?
Is an assist to Rutherford?
Yep. I mean, he got the rebuild that this team needed. He did it a very sneaky and backwards way, but I did talk about how it felt like he was playing chess and everyone else was playing checkers. So be interesting to see where they go from here. They have now 2 first-round picks next year to weaponize if they don't get the lottery pick that they want, to move up the draft, to get the specific pick that they may be eyeing already with their scouting. They also have the potential to find some chemistry now with some of these new players coming in. Maybe Quinn Hughes was part of the problem with the Miller issues. He was captain and allowing that to happen in his locker room. When you're captain, it's your locker room. It's not the coaches. It's not the GMs. It's yours and the assistant captains. And if Miller was part of the problem as an assistant captain and Hughes didn't have much problem with it, then not much is going to change if you only remove one of those problems. So I don't know what happens from here. Maybe we see a different EP40, maybe one that feels a bit, um, you know, refreshed. Him and Brock can get back to being themselves. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Maybe we see more one-timers from PD on the power play because Hronek being a right-handed shot makes more sense on our power play when Pettersson is the second most lethal one-timer on the ice. Having the ability to have Hronek and him, both threaten one-timers will actually probably increase the chances and goals they get on the power play. So it's probably going to have this weird, it's Canucks hockey effect, and we go on a run of like winning 5 in a row or something stupid, right? Like, just is what it is.
Dustin, the Canucks are going to make the playoffs. It's back on.
I know and we're going to screw up our draft odds. And
this is what's about to happen, Dustin. This is how I see this playing out. Yep. This is just me now after we've been talking for whatever we've been live. This is what I'm starting to think. And because with Rutherford, it's never just a single trade. There's always a next step. Right?
Oh, there's more coming. Yep. There's more coming.
Right. And beyond the stuff that you already mentioned, right? Like the stuff they're going to have to do, right? Some guys are going to have to be put on waivers, right? Like it's just going to happen, right? But the Canucks are going to now stabilize as a roster and start winning games. And then by the time I'd say we come out of the Olympic break, I think the Canucks are going to be like very much flirting with the playoff spot, like very close. And at that point, I think the Canucks management will then have the opportunity at that point to get yet another roster center that can play either a second or third, depending on what's available, right? And the Canucks will make a move using one of the picks that they have now and maybe a piece to get that other center, and the Canucks are going to make a run and make the playoffs as a result of that. I can see that as the next steps moving forward for this team.
Absolutely. And for our fans in chat that are panicking, would you like to hear a couple of our, more trusted local analysts and what they're talking about in Zeev Buium? They are shocked that this kid was included in this trade and was not untouchable by the Wild. Rick Dollywall saying that, the one player the Canucks feel they did great was stealing him because he's going to be a good one. Cam Robinson, who is another reliable local analyst, saying the Hughes return is about as good as you can hope for. You're never going to be fully satisfied, but he is shocked Buium wasn't untouchable because he is going to be an elite defenseman in this league. A young, left shot, offensive-minded D-man with a little bit more size. No, he's not Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is Quinn Hughes. He's never going to be replaced, and we need to accept that as Canucks fans and move forward, being happy with the best possible return we could have got in a situation of moving Quinn Hughes in a non-contract year.
Trying to see so Quinn Hughes was out of the lineup a couple times this year, right? He was out of the lineup. Was it October? Yeah, end of October. I'll bring this up.
And the power play looked great. Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry, exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking at right now. So, October 25th, he played against Montreal. Then he missed all the way up to Nashville on the 3rd. And if I bring up the Canucks schedule, so he played against Montreal. And then he missed Edmonton, New York, the Blues, Minnesota. And he got back in against Nashville, right? So now let's start looking at these game centers, right? So he didn't play this game. So we'll pull up the Canucks versus the Oilers. Power play, 1 for 2. So they scored. And then we got the next one against the Rangers. We know they didn't score because they got shut out. Next game against the Blues, the power play went 2 for 3. And we got a goal from Kiefer Sherwood and Pius Suter. Oh my God, it was Suter. Who was the other power play goal? Didn't the Canucks go to? Oh no, that was the that was the Blues. So the Canucks were 1 for 3. So they got a power play goal. And then Wild. Canucks were 0 for 2. And then the Predators was the game that he was back. So it looks like the power play was at least getting a goal every other game with him out of the lineup. So it's not like they weren't able to score without him on the power play. Because let's be honest, the power play has been
they're not hopeless.
Dookie lately. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do just have images of Hronek just dishing it over to Pettersson on the power play and him just dropping bombs. But the other thing I can see happening too is if PD and Hronek can develop chemistry, you can even have the bombs being dropped by both of them, right? You got PD down low, and then if PD doesn't like what he sees, he just pops it back up to Hronek right off the top of the slot, and he blasts it downhill from there. Suddenly, and then you throw a Besser or a Lekkerimäki on the other side there, on the left-hand side boards, and you have them as another threat too, right? And you have somebody in the bumper. Please, they've been doing that lately, which has been nice to see. And then the man in the front, and you can either have that, like Hoglander might be a good option to be in the bumper, Garland, and then DeBrusk in front of the net, Garland in front of the net, right? Like suddenly, I mean, no offense to Quinn Hughes, but he was supposed to be a quarterback, and he looked like he was like a Harlem Globetrotter out there, right? Like it wasn't. He was making all the nicest moves I've ever seen any player make, breaking people ankles left, right, and center. But if you end up skating into a corner and losing the puck or muffing one into the side of the net, then it doesn't matter how fancy your feet were getting you there.
Exactly.
I'm coping a bit. But
if the results aren't there, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. If you aren't able to get your team the win or make your team that much better, we'll see. So,
I mean, Minnesota too, like the other aspect is Minnesota knows that Quinn Hughes has been injured a few times over the last little while. So they've got to be okay with that. I mean, that might be part of it too. Marco Rossi's had injury problems, so is Quinn Hughes. So it's an exchange of people that are going to be, going on an ambulance to get to the next place. Jacob Cozy in chat dropping another $13.99. Pink sunglasses guy getting wild tonight. Should be having a rebuild if they didn't make things messy. Shouldn't have been having a rebuild if they didn't make things messy. See, Jacob, this is a crazy thing. Is I'm starting to get to a point where I don't know. I don't think I blame management for where they are. And that's crazy because we have been pooping all over management this year. But now that I'm really starting to think about that 23-24 run, I honestly think, like, you think about it, 23-24 run, like we said, they're one goal away from beating Edmonton and probably, I say, go to the Stanley Cup Finals, right? Minus, Shelov's kind of wearing out like we've talked about. But next year, what happens? The JT Miller drama starts. Like, there's no way for them to predict. And then even Thomas Drance made a good point where it's like, if JT Miller is your, breaking point for this team, then like you've got to give your head a shake because he's over there playing wing in New York. He's on pace for 50 points. He wouldn't have saved this team either this year, right? But the JT Miller drama last year completely derailed that season, and they lost Zadorov, and they lost Lindholm, right? So it's just absolute chaos. And I don't know if there's anything that this management team could have done differently in that situation, at least. Zadorov sounds like he was going to go Lindholm sounded like he was going to go. Like, both of them were probably going to go no matter what they did. And if you put that run in the context of that was the Canucks realizing with this core and these players that they had, that's a cup run, then I'm not upset that they went for it because they could have actually done it. But there was things because of Canucks logic and a Canucks luck that stopped it. Next year, total write-off. JT Miller explodes, HR disaster, any other business, he's getting fired and giving a package. But in sports, it's now he has to be traded. And then maybe Quinn Hughes. And I said this, and I've said this before to you on the stream. If JT Miller got traded, Quinn Hughes had to be okay with it. Maybe Quinn Hughes wasn't okay with it. And the only way to keep him happy in the meantime was to hire his favorite coach, right? Maybe Rick Tocchet wasn't okay with JT Miller being the trade chip instead of Pettersson, right? Maybe this is giving us signals, and then we talk about it where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe this is the realization that JT Miller wasn't okay, or Rick Tocchet wasn't okay with it. Quinn Hughes wasn't okay with it. They tried to appease him. It didn't work. This place got disastered by injuries this season, and Quinn Hughes is like, no, I'm over it. I'm over it. Get me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it feels like at the beginning, early on, it was like Aquilini had his requests to try and win. I feel like where we're at right now is Rutherford sat down with Aquilini and said, "We tried it your way. I'm doing it my way now." And buckle up because it's going to get interesting. I would imagine with a trade of this magnitude, there will be either a press conference with the management tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that and seeing what they have to say about this situation. But for now, it does feel like Rutherford went to Aquilini and said, "We're rebuilding, and this is how we're going to do it. This is the first step." So I don't think we're done. Poof. Man, my heart breaks for Canucks fans because they deserve better. But at the end of the day, if this can lead to better in the next 3 years, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, like Jacob said it, and you said, and I said it. It feels like either the start of a rebuild or a retool in some way, shape, or form. And all of a sudden, the Canucks finally have a center they've been looking for all year, for a while, and we asked for something to be done about this team, and they did it. So whether you like it or not, Quinn Hughes is no longer a Canuck. The captain has been traded once again. So now Adam Foote. What do you think about what his status is with this team? Does his leash change at all, or is it still the same thing? Does management still have to give him the same lenience now that Quinn Hughes has been traded?
That one I'm curious to see. Uh, I don't see them looking at the way he coaches hockey and being happy with it. Rutherford has been around the league and the game for far too long. He recognizes patterns as well. If they leave him in place, it is strictly for the purpose of finishing as low as possible. If they decide to make the move to release him and promote Manny, then the goal is to push to win while also creating a new culture and rebuilding. So, yeah, it's, oh boy.
Dustin, I just want to
There's more.
smile again. I want to be happy about my team. And
I know.
Quinn Hughes,
I know.
He is the, one of the most talented players this franchise has ever had. But he was so grumpy all of the time.
Yeah.
Here's the official announcement off of the Canucks Twitter page. Marco Rossi, Liam Ongren, Zeev Buium, and a 2026 first-round pick for Quinn Hughes.
Yep. And Sagmina, you're not wrong. The PD haters are going to be out in fierce fashion over this one, for sure. And Barbershop, as much as I love Quenneville and what he is doing with the Anaheim Ducks, there's no way that man could have survived coaching in a Canadian market. Just with his history, he needed to go somewhere like Anaheim where they don't really care that much about hockey. However, you can see how important a highly skilled championship coach is in creating a structure that can actually score goals.
So do you think all three of these players get in the lineup on Sunday morning against the New Jersey Devils?
I would imagine so. Making this trade tonight gives them the extra day tomorrow to get these players over, gives them time to get Rossi kind of quickly checked out by their team staff. And then, yeah, they will probably all be in the lineup Sunday morning against New Jersey. Kind of a kick in the nuts for Hughes to not get to play against his brothers Sunday morning, but maybe that's Rutherford being like, you know what, kid, you didn't handle us the right way, and this is my last welcome. Welcome to how business is done.
I mean,
You
yeah, it gives you
handcuff
one
me
less
by
F
trying to
you.
tell me it's New Jersey you want to go to. I'm going to send you to friggin' Minnesota.
Oh,
Ah,
what a crazy day.
yeah. I mean, I did not see that coming this afternoon. I felt like there was something imminent, but I did not have Minnesota that high up on my list of places that he could land. I even with the Rossi connection. However, with Zeev Buium entering the conversation and a first round pick, I mean, Minnesota probably stepped up and just clipped the Red Wings and clipped whatever the Devils had to offer, just with better prospects.
I mean, yeah, you're looking like Harmon Dial on Twitter here, tweeting out, losing Quinn Hughes sucks, but this is about as well as the Canucks could have done. This is pretty exciting haul, and Zeev Buium having future star potential. Harmon Dial might be the smartest man in Canucks media, so if he's saying that, it's got to be true, right?
Like there are a lot of people that are excited about Buium. I am one of them.
We're starting a poll question here. How do you feel about the Hughes trade? Uncontrollable crying, uncontrollable laughing. I don't feel anything anymore. I am excited about the future. Boom. First poll question of this crazy stream. We were just outside hanging out with Dobby throwing the ball, getting him all tuckered out. He's now sleeping in front. His feet are still dirty because he ran through the mud. I haven't even washed them off yet. All my clothing is sitting in the front hallway. Dustin, what were you doing when you found out? Were you also watching the stream?
I was watching you play fetch, and then I went downstairs to start getting ready to start making dinner. And my X notifications that I keep on with, like people like Friedman and the high up analysts. As soon as I saw Hugh's name, I was like going through everything, all the insiders that I have, and the first thing I did was call you. Well, first thing I did was check to see if you're still live playing fetch. The next thing I did was call you and be like, we need to go live right now because Quinn Hughes is on the Minnesota Wild.
All right, let's jump into chat. We usually do a hello to all the beautiful people. Coach Rob Willie is here. What's up, my dude? Beef D pings. Time to push foot out the door with Quinn Hughes gone? Question mark face. I mean, if
I
the
mean,
Canucks don't
he'll
need
have a
him,
home in Philly right away. So
yeah. He's just biding his time till he can coach Colorado. I know that's what he really wants. And I thought this
there you go.
timeline was getting better. Bring on the apocalypse, Segmina.
Definitely the darkest Canucks timeline.
Yeah. Didn't we get more for Miller? I don't think so.
Not
We
really.
got Mancini, a first round pick
That we traded
that we traded.
for Marcus Pettersson and Drew
Miller.
O'Connor.
Rangers. I don't remember what the package was. Philip Hedel, Victoria Mancini, first round pick. So we still have Mancini. Philip Hedel, I hope never. I mean, I want him to play. I don't want to say it like that. I also don't want
Let's
him to
not
play
forget, we just took 3 roster players off of Minnesota as well.
Yeah.
And they're only getting 1 player back. 1 player back in Quinn Hughes is not going to push Minnesota necessarily to being a playoff team. If they miss the playoffs and we have their draft pick with the potential of 2 lottery picks in a very deep draft, do not undervalue that first round pick that came back with this trade. There's no guarantee Minnesota is going to elevate above where they're at right now. And there's nothing that says Quinn Hughes is happy about going there. They literally could flip him They could get grumpy Quinn Hughes, who's pissed that he ended up in Minnesota and just bides his time or asks them to trade him to New Jersey. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen now with Quinn Hughes' future. He is now Minnesota Wild's property. So, I'm here to focus on what will happen in the short term with the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm curious to see what other moves Rutherford and Alvin have up their sleeves.
Colin Whitehead saying Rossi is a legit 2C, but is short. Yeah. They said rebuild in the press release. Is there a Canucks press release? Let's try and find out. Beef
They will be a
Kings.
key part of the rebuild that we are currently in. Rutherford dropping the R-bomb.
Hey, Tankers got what they wanted, I guess.
Go.
Where was the press release? You just Google
Just
it.
a few guys have reposted it, but it's on Canucks.com. It's one of their blog posts, but Tyson Cole has it up. Reposted. Canucks News Summaries reposted it.
Can't find it. WTF, mate?
Here, I'll
Back
send it to
onto
you in
Twitter.
Facebook Messenger. Got it?
Thank you.
There you go. Just sent it.
Take me to Facebook. Perfect. There we go. All right, let's bring it up. Tyson Cole, the RE word the Canucks are using as they move forward. Vancouver Canucks general manager Patrick Alvin announced today that the club has acquired forwards Marco Rossi, Liam Ongren, and defenseman Zeev Buium, and a first-round pick in the 2026 NHL entry draft from the Minnesota Wild in exchange for defenseman Quinn Hughes. We would like to thank Quinn for his time with the Vancouver Canucks, said Jim Rutherford. Quinn is a great person, a great player, and one of the greatest Canucks of all time. With the circumstances surrounding JT and now Quinn, we are fortunate to acquire these very good young players from Minnesota. They will be a key part of the rebuild we are currently in, giving us a bright future moving forward. The hockey club will continue to build with talented young players, using that as a blueprint to become a contender sooner rather than later. Jim Rutherford. Huh. They said the word. He just likes saying
They did.
that. He can feel everyone squirming now.
Well, no, it's his show of power over the owner. Yeah. Right? That's Rutherford showing Canucks fans right there that he's in charge. That ends any speculation that Aquilini has anything to do with this. Rutherford is in charge, and this is officially a rebuild. And him and Alvin promised to get us to a cup final. And I mean, if he makes a promise, I don't think he's going to abandon ship until we get it. So we'll see what happens.
Coach Rob Billy, who will the next captain be, I wonder? It'll take a while to decide that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Hronek? He doesn't like to talk to the media. Let's just make Tyler Myers the captain. Colin Whitehead, Calvin, that's because he's small. To 10 Mile, West Harrison. This is Woods Lake. I'm officially a Wild fan. You pulled a Hachiko. Just flipped immediately. Barbershop says Petey gets the C. course, Barbershop would say that. Hachiko blames Dobby, by the way. The Dobby stream earlier today cursed us. Yeah, very much. May well have done that. Yeah, everyone's now. Who will get to see? Luke Fleischwater wonders. People need to stop.
I don't even know if they name one next year. Because if they change coaches again, I don't think Manny comes in and names a captain. I think he comes in and plays either, maybe they do it mid-season, but we might go all of next year without a C on a jersey.
Kent McGuire just says, "Puck this team." Oh no. Coach Rob Willie says Evander Kane for captain. Just kidding.
Go. Oh.
Don't know what to feel about this, honestly, says Heastone. Yep. So you would be under the either uncontrollable crying or uncontrollable laughing, or maybe you're flipping back and forth, and then he goes laugh out loud. Tom Hoglander, who is Big Hog Hoglander's uncle or dad, I still haven't found out. I've been a Boyum fan for a while myself. I'm fine with that. That sounds good. Boyum. It's going to take me a while to get that one, I think. He's got a sweet name, though. Steve.
Yep. Yeah, you expect him to be, European or something like that. Nope. San Diego, California.
Yeah. His parents were hippies. Let's look up a Zeev Buyum highlight, shall we? It's got to be like a little thing where it's like, here are his best career highlights. There you go. How long is this? 7 minutes? Now, let's just look at this one. First career goal for Zeev Buyum. I think it's up below us here. Here we go. Oh, he shot it wide. And then he went down low. Got the pass back. Jammed it in. First career goal or for your Vancouver Canucks, Zeev Buyum. Shot goes wide. Gets up. Gets a good pass from behind the net. Jams it in the back of the net. Some good speed there. Looks like he's got a hard shot. Let's look up Liam Ogrum, because I was still wondering if this guy's going to have penalty kill potential. So let's look at his elite prospects. What does it say here? All right. Everything happens in motion for Ogren. He gets puck moving as pucks arrive at his position, skates through passes, and doesn't need to break stride to get off his shot. That's good. He plays at such a heightened pace that puck often flies off his stick for no sooner than you realize he's even secured possession in the first place. High praise. Doesn't really tell us if he's a penalty killer, though. Sounds like a bit more of an offensive chip. Out of the pieces that we got, Dustin, which one do you think you're most excited about? Is it Buyum?
I think so. Yep. I think he's got the highest ceiling out of the three. Rossi is, you see what you get. I think he's going to continue to get better as he gets older, but he is a second line center. He's going to play those harder matchups against the more defensive top sixes against opponents. It's something we've been needing. Hedl now likely goes to long-term IR. I would expect to be one of their moves. But yeah.
After I've seen the title of the stream, I looked at Puckpedia. Calvin99 Charlie thought we were trolling him. We are not trolling you. That is not what this stream does. We do not do clickbait stuff. I want my ex to be miserable. So Leah Herring is saying that she hopes the Minnesota Wild are terrible. Wouldn't that be so hilarious too? I'm trying to remember. Was it? Was it the Mark Stone trade when they who got, or was it, no, it was Colorado who got a pick from someone who thought they were going to be good, and then they ended up just absolutely crapping the bed. So then Colorado ended up picking like second when they finished like top of the league or something like that. What year was that? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
That's what we want to. Hopefully it's an unprotected first. And then Minnesota absolutely craps the bed, misses the playoffs. Or even if they do what they
And we
normally
get
do.
McKenna and Verhoff.
Yeah.
We get
Well, think about
picks
this.
1 and 2.
This is another reason the first round pick, especially if it's unprotected, is a great thing for Minnesota. They don't make it out of the first round. So even if they make the playoffs, you're looking at the possibility of having a 16 to, what is that, like 16 to 20 if they get knocked out in the first round. 16 to 28 or something like that, right? So like you're
and a
looking
very
at
deep draft. Very deep draft this year.
Calvin 99 Charlie saying, "Go Dank Muffin, go." It was Gank Muffin, not Dank Muffin. Colin Whitehead, funny, everyone wanted Rossi in the offseason. Now that we got him, he's not good enough. Come on. Well, Canucks fan can never be happy. We know that, right, Dustin?
Nope. We know some fans are never happy. I blame Jersey Jerry. Just because I know he's out there. I know he's out there watching somewhere.
He's watching. Oh my God, we are actually in for a rebuild. How long has it been? 84 years? Laugh out loud, Calvin 99 Charlie. Cosmic Dragon. Good luck, Hughes. Sorry the owner and the management couldn't get their shit together. Fair. Ryan H. Laugh out loud. I'm joking, but I was back in 1994. Laugh out loud. Thoughts on who? Yeah, everyone wants to know who the C is. I agree with Hunter. Hunter says Myers should be captain. I agree with Hunter. Or Besser. Would you have Besser as a captain? Do you think Besser could do it? No.
Nope. Besser can't even drive a line. You expect him, like, you guys as Canucks fans, I'm going to say this as you guys, I'm going to lump you all together here, complained about Horvat not being able to drag a team into the fight. You think Besser's dragging anyone into a fight? Besser relies on the rest of the team around him to react. Yeah, he jumped in when PD got cross-checked a few games ago, but that's the first time we've ever seen anything like that out of Besser. He's just not the type. He's a great alternate, good A, but he's not a captain. PD's not even a captain. I won't sit here and tell you that EP40 is the captain. I don't know who the captain is going forward. Maybe they play next season without one, and the following season, Braden Coots gets the C, and he's leading the charge, because we see young captains all over the league now, and it's those young generational prospects or the young elite prospects that teams are picking up because they're the next movement. They're the future. So I don't know if they give it to any of the veterans that we have on this team. Maybe the plan is to go forward and take a year to see where the building goes and this rebuild goes, and then you talk about a captain, because right now it doesn't really matter who's the captain. This team is such a mess and such a disaster. A captain is going to naturally emerge as we move forward, and that's what I am going to be looking for, and that's what I hope, is that someone steps up. That's it. We have to give every person a chance to step up and be a leader, because the captain's now gone. So they're either going to do it as a committee or someone's going to stand out. And we won't know that until we see some more games from the team this year, and also what other moves the management continues to make. But no, Besser's not a captain. PD's not a captain. Garland, I guess you could argue, has captain qualities, but I still just don't see him being someone that you put a C on. Those guys are great support leaders, but we don't have that bona fide guy who you would go to and be like, that guy is going to get me into every single game as a Canucks fan, as a Canucks teammate. We just don't have that guy standing out yet. and maybe they emerge now that Hughes is gone. Maybe Hughes was more the problem than Miller. We don't know, right? We have no idea. All we can speculate is, as fans, is that two guys wanted to leave and they are now gone. We have to move forward. We can't dwell on what has happened. We can't dwell on the fact that Pettersson has this contract. Yes, he's here. He's got a full no movement clause. He's here for the duration, but at least he lays out in front of shots and is giving 100% physically and emotionally to this team. He's not having his best game offensively, but maybe now that he'll be getting probably more looks and more responsibility on the power play, maybe that changes. Maybe he gets more confidence back. Who knows? We don't know where it goes from here, but I'm going to be open-minded about it because at the end of the day, I'm a Canucks fan and this is my team and I support whatever they try to do moving forward. But today I'm happy with what we got back for a player that was unhappy being here. I actually like the return better than what we got for Miller last year because it does put us in a better position to move forward in a rebuild. And it doesn't look like a retool where we're getting a 29-year-old defenseman and things like that. So, yeah, I wish Hughes all the best. Absolutely is going to have an elite career in this league, no matter where he ends up. I still think ultimately he ends up somewhere else other than Minnesota. New Jersey will have to make a lot of moves cap-wise to make it happen if they do want to make it happen. But again, now Minnesota maybe makes a deal with Detroit or someone else, but by making a deal for Quinn Hughes, you keep him off of your opponent's teams and control the narrative. So we'll have to see where he goes from here. But for right now, I'm focused on the Vancouver Canucks, Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, and Zeev Buium, and how they can help us restructure the culture in this team and make it more exciting. We need someone to step out as a glue guy, and that's going to be key.
Couple comments in chat I liked. I was actually thinking this, and then who was it? So Canucks fan 94, regular in the stream. No one is captain. We agree with on that. Muhammad also here saying we Canucks don't need a captain at this point. And then Snap Dancer had the exact same idea as me in terms of C's, and then boom, Coots steps in as the next captain of this team because he has that kind of, well, I mean, Captain Canada, right? He was the captain for Team Canada. He's the captain down in for the Seattle Thunderbirds. So maybe you go a little while without having a captain, and then, but I mean, Coots may get onto this team next year. But I mean, do you want to make a 19-year-old the captain of your team? That might be a bit much for that. But then if you, like you said, if he isn't if they have no captain next year again, and then the next season, that's when they name a captain at the beginning of the year, then you could give that to Coots. I think realistically, as a 20-year-old, it hasn't been unheard of in this league. And if he is displaying those tendencies, then why not give it to the young guy after he's established himself as a center in this league?
Exactly.
Ryan H, that's good. Actually, a good point, Rusty. Coots could be the next C. Yep. That's crazy, right? The other thing I wanted to look at too is just like the advanced analytics on these guys, like foot speed wise and stuff like that. I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a spreadsheet on just the 3 new players.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to add them all in. I'm gonna have to create new headshots. It's gonna be all the photoshopping going on. Here we go. Comparisons. Now, how do I look this up? Skaters. Marco Rossi, come to me. I think he's supposed to be quite fast, right? Here we go.
Yeah, he's small and speedy.
He's in the top 50th for lowest. His shot's not good, so he's in the bottom 50 percentile for shot speed. His max skating speed is about 22, so that's pretty average. So yeah, he's like right down the middle across the stats for this season so far, essentially. So average shot, average speed, average total skating distance. Let's see. Shots on goal, he's got 27. The average by his position is 37, so he needs to get more shots. He's got good high danger though, so he's got more of his shots come from high danger spots, which is good, meaning he's going to the good areas. He's another guy that can crash the front of the net, as you can see, 14 shots from right in front of the goalie and 4 just above that as well from the high slot. So that could be an option. Shooting left could be obviously another guy who they use on the second power play unit. We actually have a center to put on the second power play unit now, which is good to see. But
Hmm.
yeah, not a crazy hard shot, not the fastest guy in the world. Um, but
But
yeah,
a
I
good,
mean,
reliable second line center. Like
yeah,
that's and he's still only 24. Like he's maybe still right now an extremely high end 3C. Playing in a 2C role on the Canucks is going to help him and his development, I think. So, I am not overly upset. He's only 24 years old. There's room to improve. Like, I like these young NHL proven assets they got back.
yeah. I'm gonna pull up Zeev here. Zeev Buyum. This is the one I think most people are excited about. So like you said, 14 points in 31 games so far in his rookie year, 20 years old, shoots left. He is kind of like, yeah, top 50 percentile, so decent, average hardest shot, almost 84 miles an hour. He's in the 93rd percentile when it comes to speed on defense, so he's almost up to that 23, so he is a speedy guy. And he's in the 70th percentile too for total distance skated, which will increase as a result of um, obviously maybe playing some more minutes here. Um, Defensive zone, he's in the 92nd percentile for time spent there. So, and then when it comes to his shots on net, got 31 shots, so he does get on average 3 more shots um, compared to the rest of the league. A little bit more high danger, a little bit more mid range, and less from long range. So this looks like exactly what you'd expect from a defenseman who's going to be activating. He's activating and getting down into the slot here, the hot from the blue line down to the high slot. He's getting in there and getting a lot of shots from there. Even 3 high danger shots. He's got 3 shots from right in front of the net too. So he's got no problem getting down to the net there. And the mid range shots, he's 5 more than on average by position. So he's in the 84th percentile as well. So in general, is a shooter, and it looks like he does know how to hit the net. Yeah, shot speed's decent, and as well as his skating speed comes in the top. He's in the top 7% for the whole league, which is impressive for a young guy who might even get faster as his body kind of fills out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, all very promising statistics, right? Like that's what I mean is sometimes Canucks fans get pigeonholed and don't realize that there are elite prospects out there in the league that do have ceilings similar to Quinn Hughes, right? Like he is only 21 years old, or 20 years old rather,
Yeah.
not 21. Ogren's 21, so the youngest piece of this trade, however, has incredible analytics for his age and could potentially be as elite, if not more elite than Quinn Hughes because he brings more size to the table. So we will have to see what happens. All we can do is wait because of the age difference and where they are in their careers. But I'm very happy that that the Canucks were able to steal him off of the Wild team because I am shocked. I think that he was likely the piece that got this deal done.
Liam Ogren, I got the last one up here, the last piece of the trade, his advanced edge numbers. 68th percentile, so close to being nice, but still a decent shot, top 40% in the league. Or, sorry, top 30%. So he's in the top third of the league for hardest shot, and his skating speed as well. His max skating speed is in the top 20% as well. So another speedy guy. So even if he's more of a
Hmm.
grinder, he's a guy who can grind you by getting in on the forecheck and getting in the dirty areas to make sure it happens. Not, he's a young guy. He hasn't played all the games this year. So kind of in and out of the lineup. He's a guy who's on the bubble for them. So no points so far this year. So a guy who potentially is your 13th forward. But could also take up some of those fourth line minutes that we need to get covered because, like we said, Baines is probably a piece that might have to get waived now. Reichel's going to have to get waived, that kind of thing. So deep dive details. Yeah. So he does that. And that's the thing. 3 guys, and they're all other than Rossi, who's, I mean, not bad. He's still 50% on the league. All these guys bring some foot speed to this team that sorely needs a little bit more movement of those skates.
Definitely.
Okay, last
And
thing
I am seeing confirmation that it is an unprotected first.
Is that on Twitter?
Yep, it's just kind of coming out. It's not a confirmed source, but it's looking like it is an unprotected first round pick.
Okay, so
Which
we got the
is
Puckpedia now, which is great.
Even more incredible. Yeah.
So Minnesota Wild does their Minnesota Wild thing, and we get a 16th pick.
Or they miss the playoffs and they win a lottery pick. I mean, it's a tradable pick too, right? Like they can move that pick now as well and not be in fear of moving theirs, being able to move someone else's unprotected pick. They could get even better back or move up in the draft. So we'll see what happens.
Got Puckpedia up now. They've updated it, so they got all the Minnesota players added to the Canucks roster. So as it sits right now, if we're looking at the Canucks roster overall, get off the screen video. What are you doing?
Dan Murphy also reporting that this move, JR says it was indicated in the offseason it was highly unlikely that Hughes would sign long-term. So this has been the plan since before training camp.
Yep.
You could tell. You can just tell when a player has one foot out the door. And there was something different about Hughes' play from day one this year. And now we know what it was.
I'm trying to read this. So projected cap space on Puckpedia, they have minus 472,000. So what does that mean? Because it says current cap space is almost $2 million. So what does projected cap? Oh, it tells me amount of cap space projected to be available at the end of the year, calculating an annual salary cap minus projected cap hit. Okay. So they currently have $2 million in cap space, but once their players are activated from injury, then they won't have $2 million in cap space. And that's where the roster moves for some of the extra pieces that they have will have to go. Looking at Marco Rossi's contract right now, he's got 3 more years, and then he's an RFA with arbitration eligibility. So at least that's nice that not only is Marco Rossi locked up for 3 years at $5 million as a stand-in for the second line center for now, he's also an RFA. So he can't walk at the end of this anyways. And if they, arbitration isn't great, but it's not a UFA at the end of that contract either. And then Ogren.
None of them are. All of them are RFAs. RFA with qualifying RFA rights on Ogren still.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a cheap cat hit. And he's a 2-way contract. So that might mean, Ogren might just go right down to Abbotsford then. When you think about it, he's got a 2-way contract. I don't think he has to clear waivers. He could be easily a nice piece they send down to develop under Manny for the next little bit. At 21, right? For sure. So I'd be interested to see that.
2-way contract as well. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he's just under $1 million, 2-way contract as well for 2 years. And then he's an RFA, no arbitration rights, because obviously these other 2 guys are younger. 20 years for William and 21 years for Ogren. 4 first-round picks for Quinn Hughes from the Minnesota Wild. Not what we wanted, but it's probably about as good as it was going to get.
Tom reporting that one top Hoglander reporting press conference will start in 15 minutes. So we better get out of here so we can go watch that.
Yeah. Cool. Dustin, thank you for calling me.
Hey, man. When stuff like this happens, we have a duty to be there for our chat and our subscribers. So happy to do it for unfortunate reasons. I look forward to seeing what the lineup is Sunday morning. But yeah, we'll see where else we go from here. I'm curious to see what is said in the press conference, but we will obviously have more to talk about Sunday morning in the official Rusty and Dusty Sideshow.
Yeah. During an actual game with a
Yes,
new look
sir.
lineup, the beginning of a rebuild, but hopefully they'll finish it sooner rather than later, is what they're saying. So, Dustin, I
For
appreciate
sure.
you. Is there anything you want to say to chat before I let you go?
Sorry to bring you such horrible news, chat, but the future, honestly, in my opinion, is looking bright right now. Some really good assets we got in return. I hope everyone enjoys their weekend as much as it's going to suck to not see Hughes in a Canucks jersey anymore. I think we're on the right track moving forward, and we will see you all on Sunday morning. Enjoy your Saturdays. Thanks for dropping in. Russ, appreciate you, and we'll talk to you on Sunday morning. Enjoy your weekend.
Cool, brother. Enjoy your Saturday. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Cheers.
That's Boydell. Gave me a call. Made sure I knew what was going on. I thought I would just stay on for a little bit more, get into chat since you guys are all hanging out. Want to see what you guys have to say about it. Give me 1 second here. Okay, yeah. Would call it that. Just want to add the picture of Quinn Hughes onto this page here. Add existing. Hughes, there it is. Boom! Look at him, he's huge. Quinn Hughes in a Minnesota jersey. Looks freaky, right? Actually, get rid of the game clock there. Perfect. That looks fine then. All right, let's get into chat. Donnie, we're captainless again. Yep. Hughes jerseys are going to haunt Vancouver for a long time. Yeah, Segmini, you're right about that. Colin Whitehead, fangirl, get a Coots jersey or a Besser jersey. Yeah, maybe you get one early. Good idea, Colin. I don't think Coots jerseys are available right now, though. There might be some. You never know. He did play a couple games this year. Lank for Pods. Get Podsy back. Get my boy Linus Carlson's jersey. Laugh out loud. JK. Casket Brain. Luckily, I never get a player name or number on my jerseys. That's a good idea, too, right? Or you just get a player like I did. I got Trevor Linden. I literally only have 2 jerseys. They're both Trevor Linden. How much term is left on Marco Rossi's contract and how much a year? So let's see. I don't know if this is going to work. I have not properly. Oh, I know. It works perfect. Look at that. Boom. Marco Rossi. So he is right here. He is got 3 years left on his contract at $5 million per, and he's an RFA with arbitration eligibility. Coach Rob Willie. Linus Carlson jersey would be sweet as well, says Colin Whitehead. Sherwood for Kuzi and a first. From LA. Get Kuzi back. Dijon Mustard, I like it. What do you think? Canucks fan 94, what an absolute waste of a potential elite core player. I know, right? But I said, no, I'm starting to think the narrative is all wrong. They pushed for it in 23-24 and they got Canucked. First of 3 years, Coach Rob Willie. Yeah. Now exactly how I envisioned. Not exactly how I envisioned my Friday night. Snot dancer. Me neither. Bring back Russians, says Dijon Mustard. Casket Bang. Zeev William is a cool name, isn't it? Yeah, not the way. Yeah. $5 million a year. Thank you, Calvin 99 Charlie. You answered his question. He didn't even need me. It has to be available on Van Base, though I'm not local to Vancouver. Mrs. Paragolfer Pro, I feel no captain for a bit for everyone to figure out their shit would be great idea for everyone. Yeah, Mrs. Paragolfer Pro, you're right. Canucks fan forever, a promising future just comes crashing down in 2 years. That's the thing, man. I keep on going back to Canucks fan 94. 23-24 was them going all in on this team, and it didn't work, and that was their last chance. Colin Whitehead, Ogren played with Lekermacki for a couple of years as well. They have chemistry. Interesting. Our D-men, our D has one more year on his contract until we need to resign him. Booyan, you're saying, right? Forward and Oliver. No, he's got 2 years. Booyan has 2 years left on his contract, entry level contract. Dijon Mustard, this season is officially done. Trade for youth and picks, says Dijon. So we are going to bring McSeany up to play on the team now? No, probably not. He'll probably stay down in Abbey. Trade Demko next for more picks. There's no way they trade Demko. We'd like to announce that we've traded Demko. I guess maybe we should watch the press conference together, right? Is it going to be on Canucks YouTube? I'm going to turn on my TV and see where it's going to be. Let's see. Probably going to be on Twitter or something, right? Or would it be? Keep Kane until the trade deadline, says Dijon Mustard. March. We need a goaltender, Canucks fan. I'd trade Kane now as well. Sorry, I'm so mad. I type less meow. That we do, but in which isn't always getting injured. Yeah, we need a goalie that's not always hurt. I agree. Canucks fan, no one will take Demko. Lanks will probably be traded if we trade a goalie. Keep Kane. He's a great tanker. Goaltenders doesn't get much trade wise. Yeah. Quinn Hughes has been traded. Treaded. What did I do? Did I make my stream name wrong? Now Dobby's starting to whine. Did I type it? Oh no, it's just okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. Dobby, what are you doing, bro? Quinn Hughes has been treaded like we're walking on him. Is that what you're saying, Donnie Blue Bones? Sorry, I'm a little slow right now. Sherwood and Kane for Johnson from Columbus. Wouldn't that be nice? Next 3 drafts are pretty good, says Dijon Mustard. That pick is value is only 14.9. I wonder what their fans are saying. Sherwood for a first and Oscar back. I like. All right. Let's go on Reddit. Let's go to Minnesota Wild Reddit. Wild hockey. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's hop on into depth chart, Russ. Canucks' next game is New Jersey. Yep. No idea, Hachiko. I'm getting depressed. Pizza Net later. With some ice cream. Sounds something decent, but judge me. I'll be the judge after I see them for 10 games. Okay. Press conference begins in 15 minutes. All right. So I'm going to bring him. It's probably going to be on Twitter, right? Like it'll be. Probably stream it live on their Twitter page. we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe it'll be on canucks.com. Dustin and I agree 100%. Dijon Mustard's like, Canucks, go! Wait, what time? What time? Wait, what, Tom? Who said that? I have tunnel vision for Canucks, but I have heard of Marco Rossi. Yeah, that's a good sign. Go Canucks, go. Go Canucks, go. Go Canucks, go. I was saying 5 first-round picks for Hughes, so I was close. Once again, folks. Lefty all around knows I don't think Russ can legally do that. Can we watch it here? Thanks, Cal McKenzie says to us, Dusty, swear jar. Hughes represents that even when everything goes right with prospect, we can't do anything. Lefty, Ogren has played with Lekkerimäki in Sweden. They have a lot of chemistry. Ryan H, appreciate you guys doing this. Nothing is perfect. I got you, Ryan H, you beautiful son of a gun. It's actually my Chico. Hughes is going to light it up now. Bobby Orr, beware your records, my man. Hughes is a traitor, says Van Beauty. Later, else is Calvin 99 Charlie. Trevor Linden. He is now the enemy. This was an amazing show. Dustin is my favorite guest on this show. I agree with 99.9% of his takes. You'll love to see. Gary Wiseman. Holy Snokes, what crazy nude. Wake up to nothing is perfect. Live long and prosper. Hockey from home. Love to see it. Nice. Thanks for being here. Just sub, by the way. Thank you very much for the sub, Hockey from home. We are live during every single Vancouver Canucks game. We are also live now because Quinn Hughes has been traded. Oh, my goodness. Dobby needs to have his feet cleaned. Should I do that? Oh, why did my TV stop playing? What? See, is there a Michael Yano? What do you think about the Oilers trading away Skinner? I think it's hilarious because Tristan Jarry is like the same player. They literally just got the same goalie back. Is it live or pre-recorded, Tom? I wish we traded Alvin. I'll join you. I'll try to join all. I'm in the Eastern, so it's tough. Yeah, I get that. Hockey from home. Yeah, we got a couple people who joined, like Big Hog Hoglander, one of our Big Hog Hockey, one of our moderators joins from all the way out there. It's crazy though, but it'll be perfect timing for there to be it'll be a perfect timing to for the 9:30 game. Not seeing anything yet. If anyone's got the link for the live now, Tom, if you've got the link, can you put it in the chat? I cannot find it. Anyone know where the press conference is? Okay, here we go. It's on Zoom. Oh, you guys can't even hear this, can you? Oh my god. Huh. You can't see anything. I'm gonna try something. Oh, let me play the audio. What? Huh. I don't know why the audio is not working for that. That's weird. There we go. Oh my gosh.
Injuries that might have been forced in a little bit earlier than we projected, but they've done really well. So we'll continue. Our coaching staff will continue to teach and work with the younger players here and continue to grow as they're as we move along here. But definitely. The plan is to use our first round pick in the draft as of now.
For those of you just joining us, please use the raise hand function to indicate you have a question. We'll go to Jason Bruff, Sportsnet 650.
Patrick, do you have a culture problem that needs to be fixed?
A culture problem on our team?
Yeah, I mean, you had a big fight between two of your leaders, JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. One of them had to be traded. You had a head coach that decided not to leave, and now you had a captain that didn't want to stay. Do you have a culture problem?
I don't believe so. I don't think that's the reason why Quinn Hughes is traded here today. I think I have a lot of respect for JT Miller as well. What he went through last year on his personal side, which I, as an organization, respect a lot. We're very excited with the leadership group and what Adam is building here. The players we got in through the draft over the last couple of years, and how they integrated with our team here.
We'll take a follow-up from Jeff Patterson.
Just along those lines, Patrick, not even 2 years ago, 50 wins, 109 points, all the All-Stars, individual awards, and you're dead last in the National Hockey League as you sit here and had to trade your captain. I mean, how difficult is it for you as one of the stewards of this group to see where you are as a franchise right now?
Yeah, you're right. I thought we had a great team. We had a great run. We're very excited where we were, and unfortunately things happened, and you're gonna be able to adapt, adjust, retool, and I think we that's what we started with last year in the trade, and unfortunately today here was another step in that direction. Try to again get the new wave, new younger players in here, and start to continue to build a championship team.
And we'll take a follow-up from Gemma Karsten-Smith.
On that note, Patrick, what's your message to fans? Just reading social media, which is obviously a toxic environment, but people are concerned about the state of the team right now. What's your message to those folks who are concerned?
Well, I think they should be excited about the youth that's coming in here. They should be excited about the championship in Abbotsford last year and the growth of those players. You see them in the lineup here today, and I can't say enough about the fans in Rogers and the support for the team. They're cheering every night, and the players they feel it. I think the resiliency and the compete has been here for the team going through adversity with injuries. And we'll just continue to build a franchise championship team here with younger players and continue to push forward.
Alrighty, thank you, Patrick, and thank you all for joining us. That will conclude today's media availability. All the best.
Thanks.
Look at that. Press conference edit. They literally just have their Zoom thing out here. That's hilarious. Okay. Let's get back to the bar. All right, there was Patrick Allvin. His press conference there. I thought I wanted to get that on for you guys. Can we? There is no scroll bar. It's just a live, eh? Let's see. I'm gonna try and pull up Twitter. I wonder if the Canucks put that on Twitter. They posted anything about that? I'd love to see a transcript from that video of Patrick Allvin getting interviewed. Calvin, the hockey gods hate us. Yep. Okay, I'm out later. I won't do the Trevor Linden again, but yeah, later. The hockey guy isn't too happy about the trade. Anyone watch the hockey guy's take on this trade, by the way? He's so mad. I have not watched it yet. I can imagine he might not be happy that the Canucks traded away the best player in franchise history. When's the press conference? We just watched it. I'll join when I can because I got work weekdays. Fair. Laughing stock of the league we are, and these guys won't stop it. Hockey from home. Is it on Twitter? Where? Yes, Zachary. Muted. Yeah, I know. No audio. Isn't that dumb? No audio. Can't hear. The hockey guy is going to be upset. He was already bitching that the team sucks, and he probably won't see the cup in his life. No audio. I'm sorry. What a clown that Allvin looks like. The franchise can't even do Zoom call, right? We can't hear Russ. I know it was being weird. There it is. Is live on the website. See ya, hockey at home. Yeah, see you later, fangirl. Chad, I'm out. Nice to meet ya. Thanks for the sub hockey from home. Turn it up. Thanks, Fox. I'm glad we finally fixed it. He said retooling or rebuilding. Thanks, Ichigo, says Gary. Totally rebuilding, laugh out loud. That's going to take another 25 years. Yeah, if we're lucky. I don't blame Allvin or Rutherford. I blame Aquilini. We should have rebuilt years ago. If we had, we wouldn't have been better by now. Bing Tang Warrior, the race is on. Who wins the cup first, Hughes or the Canucks? Oh my God, that's a good question. All right, so I'm going to end this poll question that we have running right now, which is, come on. I said I ended it. Pop up. Not popping up. There we go. How do you feel about the Hughes trade? I don't feel anything anymore. 40% of you don't feel anything anymore, so you're not happy about it. I'm excited for the future. 27%. 22% are saying uncontrollable crying, and 11% are uncontrollable laughing, which is crazy, right? Probably cycling between the two. All right, I'm gonna do a new poll question based on Bing Tang Warriors. Bing Tang Warrior wants to know who wins the cup first. Hughes? Canucks? Neither. Uncontrol. We love the uncontrollable. There we go. New poll question for you. Courtesy of Bing Tang Warrior. What is with Alvin's eyes? He he have a stroke? I don't know. Hughes. W question. Look at his mouth. Ha-ha! Keystone is laughing and crying. So dank. Finally, a real question for this dummy. Calm Kent. Holy, what a ringer question. Michael, I love that question. He was flabbergasted. Nice question. I don't believe so. Okay. Yeah. Who asked that one, by the way? Do you have a culture problem? Love to see it. He said, I don't think so. Laugh out loud. Yes, the Canucks have a culture problem, says Mohammed. That was awesome. Who was that? Russ, get him on the channel. Laugh out loud. Let's see. Here it is again. Courtesy of Lachlan Irving on Twitter.
Patrick, do you have a culture problem that needs to be fixed?
A culture problem on our team?
Yeah, I mean, you had a big fight between two of your leaders, JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. One of them had to be traded. You had a head coach that decided not to leave, and now you had a captain that didn't want to stay. Do you have a culture problem?
I don't believe so. I don't think that's the reason why Quinn Hughes is traded here today. I think I have a lot of respect for JT Miller as well. What he went through last year on his personal side, which I, as an organization, respect a lot. We're very excited with the leadership group and what Adam is building here. The players we got in through the draft over the last.
Yeah. That's enough of that. I just want to know who the heck that was. Who asked that hilarious question? Oh, it was Jason Bruff. Jason Bruff. Of the Sad Club Commish. So Jason Bruff asked the question, do you have a culture problem? I thought I recognized the voice.
Patrick, do you have a culture problem that needs to be fixed?
Wow. Jason Bruff asking the hard questions. Just fire Adam Foots' fangirl. Barbershop, that meme with the dog sitting in the house on fire says everything. This is just fine. Oh, yeah. Hunter is here. Dropping 9:30 in the chat. You'll love to see it. Thank you very much, Hunter, for the 9:30 dono. Holy, just saw Sunday's game is at 9:30 a.m. Holy crap. I know. It's breakfast hockey. Breakfast hockey. We're going to be live for 9 hours that day, Hunter. It's going to be wild. Holy crap, just saw Sunday's game. Yeah. Thank you very much for the 9:30 dono. I appreciate you. Love these reporters. I thought today was just a travel day. I know, right? They're traveling Quinn Hughes to Minnesota. And I thought the GM travels with the team. HMS Quinn will be traveling and not returning, says Gary Wiseman. Yup. Alvin, please tell us the truth about this team's real direction, says Mohammed. I meant Alvin, Gary. GM, general manager. Damn, that's short. That was short. Yeah. Why doesn't he say the big Russian pucked me and we never recovered? Alvin's like, live long and prosper. Peace. I'm out. Boo, says Hachiko. As a Canucks fan, definitely not happy. Same, Hachiko, says Fangirl. Michael Yano, they definitely cut that off early because of how the questions were going. The real question, the first question was a doozy. Laugh out loud. Barbershop. That's it. The guy really thinks a farm team is an NHL team and gonna have the same success. Laugh out loud. That was pathetic, says Leah Herring. This killed any confidence I had, says Ichigo. JT had a personal problem, therefore couldn't play for the Canucks. Apparently. Let's go, Petey. Let's go, Petey. Barbershop cheering for Petey. I was a good time for a bathroom break, says Casket Brain. I have my earbud in, so I was listening. Even though I left, I was listening. Doing the wave! Zach's out here, and so is Bing Tang Warrior doing the wave out here. Poor Shannon hockey, guys. Tom Hoglander. Well, my first ever rebuild, plenty enough time for me to save money to go when the team is actually good, unless I attend a BC Lions or Vancouver Golden Knights game first. Yep, could do. Maybe the Jays will win in my lifetime. Leah Herring, maybe. Hopefully, Leah, they broke our hearts this year. Snap Dancer, 10 minutes to unpack. Trading our franchise captain is laughable and cowardly. She loves move, looking worse. Puck, says KJ Brazy. Jays win World Series next year. Write it down. That's my prediction, says Colin Whitehead. Something else before being reported, KJ. Interesting, Colin. We shall see. I hope you're right, Colin, says Leah. Had to put my picture upside down, and Canucks are in distress. Yeah, look at that. That's like the secret. KJ, Calvin. Calvin, you already left, bro. I thought you left like 10 minutes ago. You've said bye twice, and he's still here. Calvin's lying. He can't leave. He's having too much fun in chat, laughing and crying. Hughes wins first, but not Minnesota. Ah, that's funny, Snap Dancer. Nux ain't winning no cup. Not in this lifetime, says Barbershop. I hope Hughes never wins. Sorry, says Leah. Cale Makar is greater than Quinn Hughes. Oh my God. Well, the Jays have only signed pitchers and no Tucker or Bichette yet. Sportsnet 650. Do y'all think Patricia will be here anymore? Quinn is gone. Laugh out loud. Is Quinn her favorite player? Hunter. Colin Whitehead, the Jays are spending big and getting better this offseason. They are teaming with AL to beat. Now they are in the World Series for sure next year, especially if they get Tucker. I missed Dustin's thought on Dam. Yeah, just did he crash out? A little bit. Mohammed with a $2 donor. Rustu agreed with this trade. Oh, Mohammed. The tough question. To answer. I think that it's the only possible conclusion to the storyline that has been the Canucks in the last 2.5 years. Quinn Hughes wants to win the Stanley Cup now. He's in his prime. And by the sounds of it, or the things that are coming out now, Quinn Hughes did not want to be part of a rebuild. And in situations like this, where your team is kind of been put in a hard place, the Canucks managed to pull back in 3 roster players that are all first-round draft picks and an unprotected first-round pick as well on top of that. So essentially got 4 first-round picks back. Do I agree with the trade? I think I'll probably have to say yes. I think they had to do it. William Garner's in the chat. What's up? How's it going, William? What time is it over there in Australia? Is my phone dead? I think my phone is dead. Oh yeah, my phone fully died. I cannot even check. I guess I have the internet here too because Darwin, Australia. Time. It is 12:24 p.m. there. Hughes did everything he could for us. This management is sketchy as F. I don't think players like him. Could be. It is possible. I had traded a spot wrong in the red banner, eh? That's if they get Tucker Colin. No, not really. Seemed okay. That could have been the mask until he gets off stream. KJ, no, he is optimistic about the future of the team, but sad to see Hughes go. Yeah, bro, for pucking Rossi, he is injury prone and soft. Small, rough. Yeah, Tom knew who it was. The Jays are only team. Okay, I'm going to stop reading anything about the Jays. I'm sorry, guys. This is about Quinn Hughes. We shall see, cooking. Right, KJ? We took Hoglander off IR. Now we have Rossi to take his place. Laugh out loud. Why is he excited about how Foote is taking this team? We're in last in the league, and he just traded away our best player. KJ, everyone wanted Rossi this offseason. Now he isn't good enough. We have an EP40 problem. His media pass is going to be stripped 100%. Not me. Brock Faber would have been nice. Ha! Said JT had a hard year and we support him. Alvin took no responsibility. Brock SpongeBob Faber. Laugh out loud. I wanted Zach over Rossi. At least Rossi can play center, unlike Reichel or Kampf. Just saying. Yep, Colin, we finally have a center. Not Rossi for Hughes. No, that's ridiculous. Yeah, no, but they got more. I'm glad we got an injury prone 2C. We got Buyum is nice. Yeah, with Rossi. And Ogren and a first-round pick. The end is near, bros. It's the Saints. What's up, the Saints? Welcome to the impromptu stream. Zach in the chat, swear jar. Let's trade Petey. Let's trade Petey, says Japan 4. How is Buyum pronounced? Buyum. Buyum. Buyum Kasha. I reading it as bum in my head. Buyum. Sorry, Petey isn't going to be traded, just saying. Same Gary, says Calvin NHL. So how you doing? So what's everyone's take on Myers now being promoted to from assistant captain to being named the new captain? Oh, how you doing? I wish that was the case. KJ Brazy, Buyum. Doing the wave, Callum. Trevor Linden. Calvin N.A. Charlie's laughing and crying. So is Gary Wiseman. That doesn't make it better. Laugh out loud. I'm sorry, Russ. I can't leave. This chat is the best. I know, right? WFGF just happened. Swear jar. Learn the rules. Rusty, what the puck is going on? Bro, they traded Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes has been traded. The Vancouver Canucks have traded Quinn Hughes. That's what's happened. Can you believe it? Pull up the thing for you. The Canucks have traded Quinn Hughes to the Minnesota Wild for Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, Zeev Buium, and their first round draft pick in 2026. So Marco Rossi, centerman, small, offensively minded. Liam Ogren played with Lekromaki, offensively minded, quick feet. Zeev Buium, offensive defenseman, rookie this year, 20 years old, 14 points in 30 games, and they got an unprotected first. So if Minnesota does what Minnesota does and gets knocked out in the first round, the Canucks have another 16th overall pick or somewhere about there. Mohammed Hype, who will be our captain now, says KP. I don't think they're going to have one. Next game, I expect to see some Hughes jerseys on the ice. Someone threw a jersey on the ice last game, I heard. Garland is my favorite Canuck, and it's a good thing it wasn't Quinn. I doubt anyone will show up now. Quinn was the only reason people went to games. I bet it's going to be half empty. Garley's my favorite as well, but I'm scared for him too. Same KJ. Demko for the next captain, says the Saints. Yeah, let's do that again, eh? Colin Whitehead, if anyone gets the city, really should be Garland. Yeah. The Minnesota jersey doesn't look good on Hughes. I know, right? Thank you, Russell, says Mohammed. No, thank you, Mohammed, for the $2 dono. Looks like someone puked on Quinn Hughes' jersey with that jersey on. Laugh out loud. Goalies can't wear the C, so they'll put it on the chin. Charge your phone, Russell. Okay. Oh my God. Nothing happened. I didn't drop my phone. I dropped my earbuds. Come here, Debbie. Come on. I didn't get to see you earlier. You were inside this room with me the whole time when we were talking with Dustin, but you never got to see him. So here's Dobby back. Dobby, how do you feel about the Quinn Hughes trade? He looks like he's very spaced out right now. He doesn't even know what to do with himself. So, one of Dobby's favorites. What is it? Duck and pumpkin. Yes. Oh, what a good boy. Oh, such a sweet little nugget. Hmm? What a cute boy, huh? Give me a smooch. Thank you. Go back to your Go ahead. Go ahead. Go. Go. All right. Hughes is about to strap on a rocket and enter a whole new stratosphere of popularity. Jake's take quipped last stream. He'll probably never get to watch Hughes play as a Canuck. He was right. Yeah, Gary, that is true. All right, I did have all right, here is Reddit, the Minnesota Wild Reddit. Minnesota Wild have made a blockbuster deal with the Vancouver Canucks for Quinn Hughes. Believe Marco Rossi plus huge other pieces going the other way. Russo believe it's Rossi, Buium, and Ogden. Oh, this guy's not happy. Puck! True, but for Quinn Pucking Hughes, tough but fair. I'm inconsolable. Dog, it's Quinn Hughes. He might be the best player on the team. It's close with Kaprizov. Yeah, it's Quinn fucking Hughes. I'm still sad, okay? But re-sign his ass at that price. If we do, this is probably worth it. If we don't, worst trade in league history. Sherwood Shoulders shows up in the chat. What's up, Sherwood Shoulders? How's it going, my dude? Just another, like, no comment, $20 dropped into the chat. Thank you very much, Sherwood Shoulders, putting in the work. Getting all those hits, setting league records. Thank you very much for the donation, Sherwood Shoulders. You're an absolute legend. An anonymous legend. Russ has no way of knowing this trade was happening when it did. He was playing with Dobby. Yeah, I was literally playing with Dobby out back, trying to poop him out. Bing Tang Warrior, buy a beer and drown your sorrows. Thank you very much, Bing Tang Warrior. I appreciate that. $7.99 coming in from the legend Bing Tang Warrior. I appreciate you. I will buy a beer with that. That is a good amount. I might be able to get 2 beers if I get the cheap ones. Thank you very much to Sherwood Shoulders and Bing Tang Warriors coming in with the donos. $20 and $7.99. You love to see it. Thank you very much, guys. Very kind of you on this crazy impromptu stream. KPEP 40, new captain, I guess. 11 a.m. on the West Coast. On the West Coast of Australia. Poor fellow went to 2 games and Quinn was out for both of them. Yep. Jake Stakes Hockey with none of the luck. Canucks fans will probably chirp Hughes big time when we face Minnesota next. Oh my God, poor Jake Stakes Hockey. Actual feed bad for him. We need this to tank. Laugh out loud, says Daniel Turgeon. Bro, they might just keep on winning, though. That's the problem. What I mean, keep on winning. Laugh out loud. I'm glad I got to see him 60 times, give or take a few. Daniel Turgeon, go Canucks, go. Go Canucks, go. William Gorner, Hughes is too chaotic for Vancouver. Oh. William, do you want to join the stream right now, buddy? I was hoping Quinn went to New Jersey. Is your dad there? You guys want to jump on the stream? I wouldn't book or chirp Quinn. Him getting traded wasn't his fault. It was the team not building a winner around him. Besser for captain? Bing Tang might work. Hughes wasn't captain material anyway, says KJ Brazy. I'm not saying you to do it, Colin. Someone is bound to do it, though. Who do you guys think is up for the next C? Braden Coots. Gary Wiseman thinks it's Arshdeep Baines, and then he's laughing and crying. Okay, William, can I call you on? Huh. Let's see if this works. Or should I call your dad? I should probably call your dad, right? Oh, no, it worked. All right, cool. What's up, my dude? I don't have you on the screen yet. I'm just setting up your nameplate quickly. Huh? Is your dad awake or is he still sleeping? He doesn't even know about the trade yet. Can you hear me okay? William, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. William, can you hear me? Huh. Hang on a second. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh, here, hang on a second. Here we go. How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Facebook doing weird stuff. Okay. Hang on one sec. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna bring you on now. Oh, it's not working. Boom! There we go. Now it's working. All right, William, you're on live. What's up, my dude?
What's up? How we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Are you freaking out a little bit? Are you happy? Are you sad? Tell me your thoughts.
I don't know. I expected a bit more from that trade, but no, I don't know what to say for it.
Did you see like the pieces that we got for it? Did you see any of the breakdown of what they are?
Yeah, I had a look. I would have wanted a bit more for him, but it's in the end, it's Quinn Hughes.
It is what it is.
Well, it's upsetting.
You're not gonna get more. You're not gonna get a Quinn Hughes player back when you're trading away Quinn Hughes. There's almost no way to win the deal, right?
It's always when you trade stars, you don't get as what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel a little happier that we got a guy like William, who's like an offensive defenseman, 20 years old, already got 14 points this year, almost scoring, or I guess he's half a point a game. Young guy, a little bit bigger than Quinn Hughes, so he could, I mean, he's not at that level, but kind of servicing a similar role for the Canucks moving forward.
Yeah, I'm happy we got some young guys out of it. It's in my opinion, it's a good trade. Yeah.
You're okay with it?
Yeah. I wanted Quinn gone. Gotta say that.
You wanted Quinn gone. You were sick of his stuff?
Yeah. We played better without him. My opinion.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy for me to say. I think my dad just got home, so he'll probably hop on in a second.
That's cool.
But yeah. He's just too chaotic for Vancouver. He just doesn't have that same, like, what do you call it? Star power. It's a good word for it. Yeah.
It was like, did you hear my, I don't know, you probably weren't watching it. I had a metaphor, or I don't know if it's a metaphor or a simile because I don't know English very well, but having Quinn Hughes on the Canucks is like having a piece of toast and you're gonna butter your toast and then you just butter like the very corner. You got a big old thing of butter on the edge of your toast. And like nobody wants to eat a piece of toast with all the butter on one side. So if you trade Quinn Hughes, that's like spreading the butter out over the rest of the bread, right? Because then we don't have that high level talent that Quinn Hughes was, but we've got more talented players throughout the lineup, which might make them a better team.
Yeah. The team will start playing as a team, which is good.
Because it didn't seem like Quinn Hughes was
he just
playing
doing
as a team,
something on
right?
the ice. Yeah.
He wasn't able to.
Towards the end, he was just shooting the puck randomly. He wasn't playing as a defenseman. He was being dumb about it.
He was playing like
Don't get me wrong, Quinn Hughes, he's great, but he wasn't playing as a team.
I mean, that's the one thing we kept on talking about was like, does Quinn Hughes know how to defend a 2-on-1? Like, it didn't seem like he understood the concept of a 2-on-1, which is like pretty rudimentary.
Quinn Hughes is more of a forward than a defenseman, I reckon.
So you're saying that, what was it, like 2-3 years ago, whenever Boudreau was the coach of this team and they wanted him to try Quinn Hughes as a center, they should have just done it?
Yeah. Reckon, boom. Quinn Hughes, #1 center. That'd be a change.
So the poll question we have going on right now, Bing Tang Warrior wants to know who wins the cup first. Hughes, the Canucks, neither, or uncontrollable laughing / crying. Which one would you vote for?
I selected uncontrollably laughing and crying.
Do the Canucks make the playoffs after this trade, or is it too late for that?
I don't know. Well, the St. Louis Blues, when they won the cup, they were last in the league at Christmas, so don't lose hope. Plus, look how close all the teams are, basically. If we win like 1, 2, 3 games, we're back in it.
Do you think the Canucks are going to trade more pieces?
Yeah.
Not done yet.
I reckon we're going to lose a few more people.
Do you think the obvious one is Sherwood goes next?
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to go. I don't know why I would trade him. He's been good for us this year, but with the management the Canucks are under, let's be honest, he's going.
Yeah, agreed. Is there anything you want to say to chat before I let you go, brother?
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks for jumping on, William. Have a great afternoon, brother.
You too. Laters.
Bye. William, live from Australia. Saw him in chat. Thought we might as well just pull him on here. Glad that worked. Oh, I'm on Facebook now. I just liked Eric Hunter's bye-bye Quinn Hughes. Oh, I'm going to change it to wow. I put a wow on it. I went through 5 stages of grief hella quick. Laugh out loud. I saw Friedman tweet right before Russell ended his member stream. Isn't that crazy? KP85 in the house, crying, shocked. Cheering for the Canucks is starting to feel really tough, says Mohammed. Yep, it is tough. But we still do it. Sometimes the going gets tough, but the tough get going, I guess. Wouldn't be surprised if Hughes gets flipped to Detroit or New Jersey, says Big Chuck 71, Metalhead 42. I mean, that's kind of what we're thinking too. Because Kaprizov makes the most money that anyone ever has on a roster ever in the NHL. You can't have 2 players like that. And that Quinn Hughes is probably going to ask for the same amount of money, right? So Big Chuck, you're absolutely right. There's a very real chance that they flip Quinn Hughes. I'm sad, guys, says KJ Brazy. I am too, says Fangirl. W, says Fangirl. Dobby curse us, says Hachiko. Misery loves company, says Segmina. Yep. There's the Dobberton. Dobby is innocent, Hachiko, says Fangirl. Hello, Dobby, bud. Good to see you, says Mohammed. I need some Scooby snacks too, says Gary Wiseman. I needed to get ripped, says KJ Brazy. I'll see you up here, KJ. Laugh out loud. Sherwood Shoulders hype. Yeah, Sherwood Shoulders. Got to figure out who Sherwood Shoulders is. Been a member for 6 months now. And dropped $20. Big Tank Warrior. Yep, with the $7.99 dono. Caribou Reds for a 6-pack of beer, Russ. If you want to get really cheap with it, laugh out loud. That might be great. Maybe some Old Milwaukee. If I go for a cheap beer, it's usually Old Milwaukee. It was a heart-dropping moment when I saw the tweet from Friedman. Sure, there's William. W. William! There's a lot of ice openings up in 25 to 30 a night. Yeah, exactly. 25 to 30 minutes a night Quinn Hughes is playing. So maybe I will update the Canucks tracker. Let's see. We'll have a look at what his final contribution was to the season. I mean, PD is signed long-term, so he might be the guy. It's possible, Colin. I don't know if PD is ready to take on the role with the news of what happened. Yeah, it might be a lot for him right now. He might be dealing with some things still. PD is not captain material, says KJ. Who knows, Calvin and KJ? PD is gonna... Yo, what's going on, says Big Mac. How's it going, my dude? We are doing an impromptu stream with the Vancouver Canucks trading their captain Quinn Hughes to the Minnesota Wild for Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, Zeev Buium, and the 2026 first-round pick coming up in a very deep draft. Henrik Sedin jersey, good choice. Yeah, smart kid that, William. I don't think Mac knows. He's too happy. Hi, Big Mac. Quinn is a Wild now, Big Mac. Zach is out here laughing and crying. Fangirl, yeah, Big Mac probably doesn't know. And then Big Mac's like, we traded Hughes? That's crazy. We got Buium, Ogren, and Rossi, and a first. Gary Wiseman, Big Mac, you might want to sit down and get a drink. Minnesota, eh? Takes a few deep breaths. Canucks probably got fleeced here. I don't know. I'm not convinced of that yet. I'm nice and drunk right now, so I can handle it. Ha ha! OMG, PD equals biblical Jonah the whale. Jump on the after, William. But Pucky, Max, a glass half full kind of guy. He sure is. I'm still in shock, honestly. This isn't how my weekend was supposed to go. I am, aren't I, KJ? But damn, I'm glad I didn't get Hughes jersey. I did get a JT Miller jersey though. 2 of them. Yikes, KJ. Double yikes for the double jerseys. Gonna take the name and number off and get the new player. Yeah, who's gonna end up being the new JT Miller? Fan, I went through the 5 steps of grief hella quick. Good, KJ. Garland, if he survives the trade block. I bet, Calvin. PD equals Jonah. Getting eaten by a whale? I was sad, shocked, mad, empty. Then now I'm happy after I heard rebuild. We are probably going to get a top 3 pick in the next draft. Plus, we have another first if we trade Sherwood for a first. That's 3. And if we trade Garland, I want to. That could be a 4th first pick. Yeah. Is this a Rooster jersey? Paradise. Can pretty much kiss the UFAs goodbye. Yeah. Later, Williams is Calvin. Not a guarantee, Colin. That's a good lad, eh? Yeah, he is a good lad. No, but possibly just saying we could have a overabundance of first round picks this offseason. Yeah. They're going to flip the first to stay competitive, like we're all dead ducks last. Like we're dead ducking last. Yep. KJ, let's hope not. That would make sense. Aqua wants his playoff bonus. Yep. Maybe Sherwood's shoulder is Jay. He has a knack for changing his user's name and such and multiple accounts. I think Jay is avoiding us lately because I banned him the other night when he was being rude. I gave him a timeout. Bubs, laugh out loud. Sherwood's shoulder is not Jay. They both type very different. Calvin knows. He can read people's typing. Gary Wiseman, I'm out. See you next game. Yeah, we'll be live on Sunday morning at 7:20. We've been live for 2 hours and 20 minutes. We'll probably finish up pretty quick here. I'm going to bring up the Canucks schedule. So I give you guys a little idea. I'm not going to announce everything because I'm still getting it all together. It's going to be a 9-hour stream. A 9-hour stream on Sunday. Let's see. Are the Canucks? No, are the Canucks playing tonight? No, they don't play till Saturday. Yeah. Okay. So playoffs aren't happening this year, no matter what they do. Alkaline is delusional if he thinks they can make it. That's some detective shit, Calvin. Then no idea if it ain't me, though. Shit, I'll take credit. Laugh out loud, JK. I just recognize how everyone types. Murph tweeted that JR said it was a highly unlikely Quinn would have signed long term. Heard, Russ. Laugh out loud. Heard. Haha, KJ, I just realized your upside down Canucks logo. Haha! They should have got Brock Faber back. No player should be untouchable when Quinn Hughes is on the equation. Yeah. Peace, Soup Gary. Peace out. Soup Gang. See ya, Straw Gary. Jonah, nothing will go right till someone cursed is removed. Laugh aloud, I had to, Mac. We're in distress. Never mind, today is Friday. Laugh out loud, it is. At least now Hronek can QB our top PP unit. He passes the puck to PD unlike Hughes did. Yeah. But yeah, later again, Russ. Sorry, Russ. Trevor Linden. Fusion. All right. Cool. Let's finish this poll question. So finish that. We'll go through the poll question. KJ Brazy repeats. Fusion! All right, poll questions popped up. So, Bang Tang Warrior wants to know who wins the cup first. Hughes, neither. Uncontrollable laughing or crying, or Canucks. And 33% of you said that Quinn Hughes would win the cup first. 29% said neither. 22% are uncontrollably laughing and or crying. And then 16% said the Canucks. Fan funding too. We got some fan funding. We didn't even plan this. We just went live. Canuck Clay showed up right at the beginning. Anything exciting happening today? $6.99 from Canuck Clay. Daniel Turgeon seems like they got very little for Hughes. $2 dono. Hunter was here earlier with a $10 dono. 4 first rounds, 3 of them are playing is a great deal. I agree. I'm starting to feel that way, Hunter. Is that good as it's going to get? Jacob Cozy or Pink Sunglasses shows up with a $13.99 throwing an apple to Rutherford. Absolutely dismantles this team. Yep. $13.99 again. Should have been, shouldn't be having a rebuild if they didn't make things this messy. 9:30 from Hunter. Holy, just saw Sunday's game is at 9:30 a.m. Nah, holy crap. Yep. And then Muhammad says, Russ, do you agree with this trade? I'm starting to get there. Then Sherwood Shoulders showed up and he was like, $20 dono. Because he never says anything. He just donates $20. Such a nice guy. And then Big Tang Warrior, buy a beer and drown your sorrows. $7.99 dono. You'll love to see it. Thank you very much, Big Tang Warrior. I appreciate you and your dono. So thank you, Big Tang Warrior, Sherwood Shoulders, Muhammad, Hunter, Jacob Cozy, Pink Sunglasses, Hunter, Daniel Turgeon, and Canuck Clay for popping by earlier. You'll love to see it. You absolute legends. All right. Jude in the chat right when I am crying, but at least I have a signed Quinn Hughes jersey. Something to remember him by. Could it get any worse as Wonker's nuts? Oh, man. This is the story of Never Boring, the up and down history of the Vancouver Canucks with JT Miller and Quinn Hughes on the cover. Quinn Hughes on the cover of Never Is Boring. Oh, man. We're going to have to read some of this. Last time we were reading this, the Canucks owner went to jail, so it could get worse. Wonker's nuts. Thanks for being here. I can't believe this is how my weekend is starting. Russell, can we realistically expect trading Elias Pettersson? No, they're not trading Elias Pettersson. He's got trade protection. He's been their best player this year, so trading him would be not a great idea. All right. We're going to be live at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning for the Devils versus the Vancouver Canucks, right? We're going to have Canuck Clay on during this stream, during the second intermission. Dustin's going to be there for the first intermission and the post-game show. The Canucks' first game after Quinn Hughes against his one brother. I think Jack is still hurt. And then we're going to be live. We're going to have some NHL. We're going to have a bunch of other things, which I will be announcing tomorrow. I'm going to be putting everything together tomorrow. So I will be posting this stream. So yeah, 9 a.m. start. We'll have the Devils versus the New Look Canucks. And then we'll be staying live all the way until 3 o'clock when the Abbotsford Canucks play against the Calgary Wranglers. Should be interesting to see if Ogden ends up getting sent down. He does have a 2-way contract. So he might end up getting sent down to the minors, depending on what they want to do. Zeev Buium will probably be in the Canucks lineup. And then Marco Rossi may not be in the lineup. He is currently on the IR, so they may have to wait for him to get back. So they might not have him as a center, but we'll have to wait and see. So 9 a.m. we go live for the Devils. We'll be live all the way through the day with a bunch of fun. We're going to do some Never Boring, the up and down history of the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to have Canuck Clay on, Dustin Boydell. There might be some other guests. Who knows? Still working on it. But I want to say appreciation to you guys. 9 a.m., as I said, Devils, Canucks, and then Abbotsford Canucks versus the Calgary Wranglers. Yeah. So it's going to be a 9-hour stream that day. It's going to be crazy. Crazy stuff happening. Absolutely nuts. All right, let's get this all fixed up here. Okay. What am I doing here? There we go. Now that's fixed. And we're gonna do one more thing before we finish this up. Okay, cool. Thank you everyone for being here. Chris showing up at the very end. Nice to see you. What did we get? Hear me out. We trade Horvat, Miller, and now Hughes. What did we get? What did we really get? And then his mouth disappears. Wonker. Oh, Dave DeVilliers. What's up, my dude? Watching all the way from South Africa. Your name changed. Okay. I have to finish the stream. Pete has no movement clause. Hope everyone is well. Other than that, yeah. Dave DeVilliers in the chat. You're going to have to update your name. Otherwise, I'll keep on calling you Wonkers. Canucks shouldn't have traded Bo Horvat for Miller, no less. Thank you, Russell, for the stream. Much appreciated. All right. Until Sunday morning when we do breakfast hockey, remember, my name is Russell Holiday. This is Nothing is Perfect. And make sure that you make good choices.
Russell, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing really good. It's nice to see you.
Great to see you. It's always fun popping into the streams every once in a while when I get a chance, and nice to finally be chatting with you.
How are we? Guys, this is awesome. I'm excited to be here.
Everyone's been very excited to have you on. The word got out and people started getting very excited. So thank you very much for doing this and joining us today.
I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone who requested to hear my beautiful voice too. I appreciate that.
How you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very first hockey game to join the stream. Everyone was very excited to see you and enjoy the rest of the game in the third period.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys.
Trevor Beggs joining the show from Locked On Canucks. Thanks for joining me today, brother.
My pleasure, Russell. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good.
Hey, buddy. What an intro. Thanks, man.
Hey, no problem. It's nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, those late nights, early mornings.
Yeah, weird
they were
times.
rough.
We are excited to welcome Dave Hall to the show. Welcome, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be on.
We're excited to welcome to the show Larry Fisher.
Thanks for having me, Russell. Looking forward to talking lots of hockey.